sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He know. He laughing.
Our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
You know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know? And we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't.
Gervonta Tank Davis fired back after hearing that Jake Paul brought in Shakur Stevenson for sparring. Tank dismissed the move, saying Jake can train however he likes, but it won't matter when the fight begins. He vowed to showcase his power in the ring and punish Paul, insisting that no amount of preparation will save him.
Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'm gonna show you and him that.
And it begs the question, Tank.
Boxing analysts pointed out the irony of the Davis versus Jake Paul matchup. While purists criticize Tank's decision, others recognize the promotional and financial upside. Shakur Stevenson acknowledged the contradiction, admitting the choice frustrates traditional fans, but noting he's still willing to spar with Paul to support the sport and keep his own name relevant. It underscores boxing's constant struggle between business, reputation, and fan expectations.
For fighting Jake Paul, but yet at the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So, do I think that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter, that this is a sideshow, freak show fight, but yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight, and then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake.
Analysts argue that Tank's recent fight decisions are fueled more by money than legacy. The Jake Paul bout reinforces that view, with many believing he's prioritizing financial gain over prestige. Observers suggest that if fans want to see Tank face top-tier names like Stevenson or Lamont Roach, promoters would need to offer blockbuster paydays similar to Canelo versus Crawford. For now, Tank's path appears more guided by profit than glory.
Look at how Tank started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another $40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Roach for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing, you do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it, you want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo money.
Shakur Stevenson voiced frustration over Tank's choice to fight Paul instead of him. He labeled it a ducking tactic and said it disrespects the sport. In Stevenson's eyes, real fighters take on real challenges, and choosing a crossover opponent over an elite contender undermines boxing's integrity. His comments added fuel to the debate about Tank's priorities, money versus honor.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight now?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport. if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
When fans accused him of dodging elite opponents like Stevenson, Tank lashed out. He dismissed public opinion, reminding critics that fans often switch loyalties after one bad fight. Davis stressed that his focus is on his own career, not on chasing approval or appeasing critics. His sharp response highlighted his unapologetic stance toward pressure and criticism.
Hey, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Rhodes rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Actor and martial artist Michael Jai White also weighed in, stating that no matter the hype, Jake Paul will never be regarded as a legitimate champion. He drew a clear line between crossover attractions and sanctioned championship bouts. His remarks echoed a broader belief among boxing purists that Paul's career is more entertainment than sport.
That Jake Paul could win a legitimate boxing title.
No, because he's so far behind someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time. He started very late. That's why I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. If he fought a legitimate, top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the up. If he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10, that would be astonishing if he can get to that point. If he beat anybody in the top 10, that would be to me the greatest thing he's ever accomplished.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
I think he's done it the right way because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva might be able to beat him. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson? I really thought, oh, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body. Because I thought that's what would win him thing, but he did not do that. I think it makes for a good matchup. He's made for great spectacle.
Former champion and analyst Daniel Cormier slammed the matchup, calling it dull and unworthy of Tank's career stage. He argued that Davis doesn't fight out of financial necessity, and that this bout fails to meet the level of competition expected from him. Cormier framed the fight as more of a social media stunt than a meaningful boxing contest.
I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him.
Yes.
He recognizes that he's too big for him.
I'm wondering how this even came about. It can't be that Gervonta Davis needs money. That can't be the reason why
he's been a world champion so recently. How could he be broke?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he doing this for money? And then why and how is even Jake Paul doing this when no one respects it? Like, I can't think of anybody that respects this.
But Jake Paul has been able to carve out and make his own lane in boxing, and I've never seen anything like it, bro. He literally, I mean, we don't know what weight class he fights in any situation. We just don't know. He kind of makes his own rules.
He makes his own rules.
And it seems like people are playing by those rules. I remember a couple weeks ago, the WBC and the Jose Sulaiman was very upset that he wasn't going to be able to put the belt on the winner at Canelo versus Crawford. That's the thing that's happened since the beginning of the time. Those guys are very powerful in boxing. But with Zuffa boxing, it was almost like that power was getting stripped away. They were very disappointed. But how can you take those sanctioning organizations seriously when they are sanctioning this?
That's my point. That's my point. That's why I think that this whole thing that we have, this boxing and this MMA argument and Zuffa getting into boxing, our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I talked about this before. Like, I didn't know why they were fighting because, I mean, Gervonta Davis's last fight was at 136 pounds.
Commentator Showbiz the Adult noted that while unconventional, the fight will draw massive viewership simply due to public curiosity. Tank's hints about possibly walking away from boxing have fueled speculation about whether the bout will even happen. Meanwhile, his fiery exchanges with Stevenson on social media have only heightened drama, mixing spectacle with genuine competitive intrigue.
Do we think the fight is ridiculous between you and Jake Paul? Yes. Are we gonna watch it? Yeah. Do we like it? Maybe. Maybe. And let me tell you why it's maybe, why it's not no, why it's not yes. It's maybe because many of us, we just don't believe it. We just don't believe the fight is real. We know it's an exhibition, but we just don't believe that you two are going to try to take each other's heads off. Other than that, it's kind of interesting. You have a 5'5" lightweight versus a heavyweight Jake Paul, who's really not a boxer with an amateur background and all that shit, but he's been knocking people out. It's kind of interesting if we knew y'all were trying to knock each other's head off. And we don't know that because Mike Tyson did knock out Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Rock Logan Paul, that kept him standing. That shit, we getting tired of that shit, right? We need confidence. Are you guys going to try to knock each other's heads off? Jake Paul, when you swing at Tank, are you going to try to hit him and knock that little man over the top rope into the damn fifth aisle? Are you going to try to hit him and make his ass evaporate? Or Tank, are you going to show the world that Jake Paul should not be in a square circle with a real boy? Are you going to try to knock his ass out, sleep him, drop him like you did Ryan Garcia, stop him the way you did Mario Barrios, knock him out like you did Leo Santa Cruz? Are we going to get a viral knockout, or are y'all going to try to stop each other?
Boxer Teofimo Lopez gave his take, saying the matchup should be treated as an exhibition rather than a serious contest. He stressed that it's entertainment, not a measure of boxing greatness. Lopez's view reflects a growing belief that modern boxing often prioritizes spectacle and buzz over true sporting merit.
Great fight, great matchup. It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun, it makes it entertaining. That's what it's all about. You know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless, it doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Yeah. We need to see you and Tank though. It has to happen.
What happened?
It has to happen, you and Tank.
We'll see, man. It's up to the champ. He's the champ, right? He's fighting. He's a celebrity champ. Ooh.
Former champion Tim Bradley offered a different perspective, reminding fans of the pressures fighters face. He urged critics to acknowledge the physical and mental toll on athletes, pointing out that Tank has endured challenges outside the ring as well. Bradley emphasized that constant media and fan scrutiny only adds to the burden, calling for more understanding and balanced discussions about Tank's decisions.
I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't do that. We don't do our research. You know, you gotta know about somebody's history. So, like, if you understand where Tank came from, if you understand his background, then you understand how he thinks and why he feels the way he feels. You know, you do. So, I mean, for instance, like, his parents, right? His parents were drug addicts, in and out of the system, in and out of jail. You know, he lived with his grandmother. You know, like, you gotta understand when he started boxing, why he started boxing. Understand that, you know, that what the influence that Calvin has had on his life, and how if their relationship isn't great, how that affects him. And this is not making any excuses, people. This isn't. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just giving you what I think, and I'm giving you the facts surrounding all of this. You know, I remember back in 2012, you know, I'm living right. I'm living civil. I'm taking care of my business. I feel like I'm doing everything right.
Debate continues over what this fight means for boxing. While undeniably lucrative and attention-grabbing, many argue it hurts the sport's credibility. Paul's pattern of picking high-profile but mismatched opponents creates intrigue but undermines tradition. Facing Davis, despite the size gap, fits Paul's entertainment-first strategy: maximize hype, spark curiosity, and keep his career spectacle-driven. Critics worry, however, about its long-term impact on boxing's reputation.
Why are you not fighting guys your own fucking size? Look at this, John. This is embarrassing. And not to mention, Georgia already said, no, you can't have this fight here. So they moved it somewhere else. Dave, do you know where they moved the fight? Can you look it up? This is embarrassing. Look, he actually put his hands on his knees and he was still the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Gervonta Davis. I mean, I'm all in on Gervonta. I want Gervonta to win this fight. I want him to hit. I mean, I'm not saying he can knock him out, but I think if he hits him to the body a couple times, John, he may be able to catch him. A lazy jab or something, you know, he might be able to pop him to the body and get him good. I'm hoping. Jake Paul down with a body shot.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Could you imagine?
I would it'd be great.
It's a win right there.
It'd be.
During the face-off, Tank appeared much smaller next to Paul, a visual some called embarrassing. Still, analysts stressed that size is deceptive. Tank's speed, skill, and experience give him a major edge, making it unlikely that Paul can keep up. His precision and technical mastery prove why appearances can't predict the outcome. The truth will come out in the ring.
I think that the one thing that Jake Paul is really going to have to try to figure out in this fight is how do I catch this little son of a bitch? Because he's fast. And, you know, Gervonta, I would, you know, I'm not telling Gervonta Davis to, you know, cut down and weight like he normally does. Just get in shape. Whatever you weigh, you weigh. Don't try to add weight. There's not enough time for you to add good weight that's not going to make you tighter or anything like that. So just come in at your normal, walk around, good weight. You've been training hard. Whatever it is, because they've said 195 is the max.
That wraps up today's coverage. Stay tuned for more updates. Until next time.